Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn Geography's third lesson, Exogenetic Process, Part 1. Many landforms are formed due to the internal movements, and we learnt it in the second lesson. Now, like that are similar because of the process occurring on the Earth's surface also led to the formation or degradation of landforms continuously, and those as which landforms occurs because of the external or exogenetic process we are going to learn here. External process occur because of the force working on the Earth's surface. They are mainly solar energy, gravitational force and kinetic energy associated with the moving object on the Earth's surface. Now we can see in the different types are the rocks, as some rocks we are seeing as the broken, some are fractured, or sometimes we can see the holes in the rocks, or sometimes we can see the different colors rocks as reddish colors rocks. Now why those rocks going to look like this, or what is the reason behind it? Now we are going to learn here. Weathering. Breaking or weakening of rocks is a natural phenomenon. It is called as a weathering. Now why this weathering occurs, or which types of weatherings are there? There are three types of weatherings as mechanical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. Mechanical weathering mostly occurs in the arid climate. Chemical weathering is occurred where the climate is humid, and biological weathering occurs because of the living organisms. Now we are going to learn about the mechanical weathering. Now if we remove the layer of the onion, we can see that the every outer layer of the onion is becoming as a separate part. Similarly, in nature, rocks undergo such a process. The exposed part of the rock heats more while the inner part is cooler, and as a result the outer layers of the rocks fall apart from the main rock. This is called as a exfoliation of the rocks. Mechanical weathering mainly occurs because of the following reasons as temperature, frost, crystal growth, release of pressure and water. Now how the mechanical weathering occurs because of the temperature? The minerals in the rocks expand because of the heat and contract when temperature decreases. Due to such continuous contracting and expanding, tension develops in the rock particles. Each mineral reacts differently to the temperature. Now in the rocks mostly we can see the minerals. And when the temperature or the heat of the sun falls on it, those minerals going to expand. Now all minerals are not going to expand. Some are expand because of the heat, some are contract because of the heat. Means like this here. And because of it, in the rock particles, each mineral reacts differently to the temperature. Some minerals expand more while others do not expand. Then the tension formed in the rocks also increase and decrease, and as a result the cracks develop in the rocks and they break. Now mostly in the where the temperature is higher, in those areas that the mechanical weathering of this type is common in the hot desert. Now frost. You know that the volume of the water increases when it freezes areas, mostly where the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. For quite some time, the water accumulated in the cracks and crevices in the rocks freezes. Its volume increases and this leads to tension in the rocks and they shatter or they should break. Now crystal growth. Now mostly the crystal growth occurs in the rocky coast. Waves hit the sea cliff and the water is alkaline. The sea water is alkaline, means as a salty water. And in the rocks minerals are there. When those waves started to hit on the rocks, the minerals started to dissolve it, and then the holes created there. And this alkaline water accumulated or collected in that hole, and then the soluble materials in the rock get dissolved, and this leads to the formation of small holes in the rocks. This is the effect of solution. Alkaline water gets stored in these holes because of the heat. This water turns into water vapor and only crystals of alkaline materials remain in the rocks. Those crystals occupy more space and this causes the tension in the rocks and holes are formed in the rocks. It looks like a honeycomb. Now, release of pressure. It is not that the tension is created because of the temperature, because of the frost, or because of the crustal growth. Instead of that, the pressure also affects on the for the mechanical weathering. The outer layer of the rocks exert pressure on the inner or the lower layers, and when this pressure ceases to exist, the lower or the inner layer get freed from the pressure, and this also leads to the weathering. Now, water. Some areas experience more rainfall than others, and in such areas, soaking of the rock water also causes the weathering. Some rocks like sandstone, conglomerate, these rocks are formed because of the pressure. On the agglomeration of the sand particles, mud also makes sand particles come together. When water penetrates such rocks, the particles get loose and separate from the main rock. This is we called as a granular weathering. Now sometimes both temperature as well as the water are responsible for weathering. In difference in temperature causes contraction and expansion, widening the joints or the cracks in the rocks. Water accumulate in such wide joints and a big blocks of rocks separate from each other. This is called as a block disintegration. Now next one is chemical weathering. Now water plays an important role in the chemical weathering. Rock is a mixture of many minerals and water is a universal solvent. Many times or many things get dissolved easily in water. The solubility increases because the matter has dissolved in water, and those materials which do not dissolve easily in water get dissolved in such solutions. Now, mostly in rainy season we can see that the different things of the irons or the tools becoming as a rusting, or we can see the rust layers on it. Now why this occurs? Because of the water only. Such in areas where the heavy rainfall, the chemical weathering occurs. Now how that the chemical weathering occurs? The first one as the carbonation. The rainwater travels through the atmosphere before reaching the ground, and in atmosphere the different gases are there, as carbon dioxide in the air gets mixed in the water in this process, and dilute carbonic acid gets formed. Materials like limestone get easily dissolved in such acids. Example, water plus carbon dioxide, as we can see as a carbonic acid, H2O plus CO2 is equal to H2CO3. Now next one is the solution. Some minerals in the rock get dissolved in water. Limestone is formed due to chemical precipitation between water and alkalis. Example, at Vadgaon Darya in Ahmednagar district, limestone gets precipitated chemically and undergoes chemical weathering again. Similarly, because of solution, alkalis in the rock dissolve and make them as the brittle. Next one, oxidation. This process occurs in rocks which have iron present in them. The iron in the rock comes in the contact with water, and the chemical reaction takes place between iron and oxygen. Hence, we can see a reddish colored layer forms on the rocks. This is called as a rust. When you keep nails in the wet cloth, you must have noticed a similar thing. Similar process occurs in rocks in areas with high rainfall. Now like this, day-to-day example we can see about this as include moistening of table, salt in rainy season, or the apple slices turning brown. Now these are the examples of oxidations. Now next one is the biological weathering. Now besides mechanical and chemical weathering, biological factors also responsible for weathering of rocks. Have you visited any fort? Have you seen trees growing on the minarets? You also have seen pieces of rocks getting separated because of the roots of the trees. As the roots grow bigger, they create tension in the rocks and start breaking them. Now, the ants make large antils. Rats, mice, rabbits and other worms and insects make burrows in the ground. These animals are called as burrowing animals, and because of their activity, weathering of rock occurs. Besides these animals as algae, moss, lichen, other flora grow in the rocks and they also help in weathering. Now, as mass movement or mass wasting. The weathered rock materials start moving along the slopes due to gravity and accumulate near the foothills or the gentle slopes. This process has been happening for years. The weathered particles form a conical heap at the foothills, and when the weathered particles move down due to gravity alone, the process is called as a mass movement. Mass movements occur in two ways, as rapid mass movement and second one as the slower mass movement. Now, rapid mass movement. Rock falls, landslides, land subsidence occur rapidly. Their effects are very destructive. The probability of these events is more in the regions having humid climates and the steeper slopes. A thick layer of weathered material forms on the slope, and when it rains in such areas, the rainwater penetrates the weathered materials and their weight increased. And then the weathered materials move very rapidly and come down the slope. One example we knew about it 2-3 years ago, that mudslide at Malin village of Pune district. Now this year also we also observed the as mudslide in a village. Sometimes the weathered materials do not move downward but sink or in situ where they are. Means those materials collect there only, and this is called as a slumping. Such rapid mass movements may also occur because of the earthquake. Now next one is the slower mass movement. In areas with dry climates and gentle slope, mass movement occurs slowly. Soil creep is a common phenomenon in such areas. In periglacial regions along the slopes, small layers of soil accumulate, and because of the movement of the soil, this is called as a solifluction. Now erosion. Like weathering and mass movements, erosion is also an external process. Erosion occurs through various agents as wind, running water, glaciers, seawater and groundwater cause as a erosion. Now this erosion we will study in the agents of erosion and the landforms produced by them in the next lesson.